Okay, finally. We're in what I call part 4, which is putting it all together. Remember I told you this is a complete system. So I want you to be able to see it as a complete system and use it as a complete system to help you create the life you want, become more influential in your life and in the lives of others. So there are a couple of little things I want to add to this in order to help you do that. And this is in the book if you happen to get it. One is called the 2% solution. This is a great thing when you find yourself kind of rushed or kind of manicky or stressed. If you'll just do everything you do 2% slower, just 2%, it takes that manic edge off. It brings in a component of purposefulness that will help. And if you want to be really powerful at this, kind of make it not just something you think about when you're stressed or dealing with a difficult person, but a way of life that you practice all the time, here's what I encourage you to do. Wake up in the morning, before you kind of jump out of bed and start your routine, ask yourself the question, what is my highest purpose this morning? Just this morning. I know some of the people I'm going to be dealing with, some of the situations I'm going to be in. Who do I want to be? How do I want to be this morning? And you go into the morning practicing being that way. Now, practicing doesn't mean you have to do it perfectly. If you ever find yourself needing to stop and do the brain model and refocus, that's fine. But around lunchtime, it's going to be really important that you do that. I call it rebooting. So you go through the morning practicing, and then around lunchtime, you reboot. Stop, do the brain model or whatever focuses you, whatever you give is that moment of serenity. Ask yourself the question, what is my highest purpose this afternoon? Just this afternoon. I know some of the people I'm going to be dealing with, some of the situations I'm going to be in. You go into the afternoon practicing being that way. And whenever you find yourself needing to do the brain model or reboot in order to refocus, you do that. Then on the drive home, around dinner time, or sometime in that transition from afternoon to evening, you reboot. You stop and say, okay, what is my highest purpose this evening? Who do I want to be with the most important people in my life? The people that I love the most and who love me the most. What's my highest purpose? As I imagine going into being with the people I love the most and who love me the most, what are the qualities and characteristics I want to bring to that? Go into the evening practicing being that way. The cool thing about this model is we're doing several things. Number one, we're dividing the day into thirds. So you're not having to practice all week or all month or even all day, just 3 or 4 hours at a time. You can always shorten that if that's even too long. We're also using the reboot concept. So when we need to, we're rebooting, kind of going into that next time in this purposeful way, and we're using life's transitions. You know, going from home to work is a transition. Going from morning to afternoon is a transition. Going from afternoon to evening is a transition. Going from one meeting to another is a transition. Going from one room to another is a transition. So if we'll look at life's transitions, an opportunity to refocus, reboot, get clear about the qualities and characteristics we want to bring to life. So now you've got the entire system. And you've got your brain map, your brain map, that complete map. Would it be cool to have that all on a smaller page? Because I don't know about you, but sometimes I can't read my writing after I do a seminar. So I have created a map for each of you. You can download this. I encourage you to download it, print it out on photo paper, because that makes it more permanent. And then, if you'll notice, there's actually some little dotted lines between part 1 and part 2 and part 2 and part 3. If you want to, you can fold along those dotted lines, put a little piece of tape there, put this on your desk and flip it to whatever part of the system you need. So let's walk through this really quick so you see how the entire model works as a map. Number 1, you can see how the problem is problematic. We get trapped in that cycle. And yet, if we're willing to say, okay, this is good information. My limbic system and brainstem are controlling my reactions and limiting my clarity, confidence, and creativity. All of a sudden, we see that cycle as valuable information. And then we see the negative reactions, our stress, our frustration, our anxiety, as a valuable signal that I need to change what part of my brain is in control. If the answer is yes, you now have the brain model that shows you how to do that. Breathe and relax. That has the neocortex regain control. Ask the neocortex questions. I want to do this purposely, in a way that produces the results I want, in a way that defines who I am, and in a way I would teach to someone I love. Imagine what that looks like. Then notice a change, so you'll notice how you feel differently at the end of the brain model than you did trapped in the cycle. Then how to stay there. How to stay there is to recognize that every thought, emotion, and action defines who I am. So I got to get a sense of what that looks like. You've got your highest purpose list over here, qualities and characteristics. Use the problem as the practice field. I want to take those in. And again, decide, is this important enough? Am I willing to make this my highest purpose? Defining who I am in a way I would teach to those I love. If no, well, you still got the brain map, but if yes, you got all kind of tools. You got the 4 criteria, you got the power model, purpose, our past and our pie, the wisdom of serenity, the energy and responsibility. You got, make sure you're bringing meaning to that in a way that's congruent with your highest purpose. And you've got the morning, afternoon, and evening model down below. Then if you're not dealing with a difficult person, you can go right to the TED Talk map and a TED Talk slide and know how to do that. If you are dealing with a difficult person, how to get others to shift to their solution-focused brain, you want to remember the lesson of the fist. You want to remember the you stupid idiot rule. You want to remember that true vision is the ability to see in another more than they are showing you. You have the 6 steps, which is bring out, listen and learn what's important to them, empathize so that they know you get it, use and versus but to transition to asking a neocortex question, use problem solving as the last step. Now remember, all of this is in the book. There's a lot of things in the book that I didn't have a chance to go through in this series. There's some things in the series that aren't in the book just because this is brand new. However, the book is valuable. It is a map. It is a manual for making this happen. So if you want some support in this, feel free to do this. Plus, I have a service that's free where every week I send out one of my favorite quotes along with 2-3 paragraphs about how to apply that quote in our life. I'm now putting a short 5-minute video with that. If you want to receive that for free, all you got to do is go to my website, BillCrawfordPh.com, and right on the front page you'll see a place where it says, would you like to receive Dr. Bill's favorite quotes? Or just hit the subscribe button. That's probably the best way to do it. It's free. Hit the subscribe button and put your name and email address down, and each week you will get a reminder, kind of a new quote about how to use this system in life. If you want me to come and do a workshop for your organization or work with you individually, all you got to do is go to the website, hit the contact button, let me know what you're interested in. And if you forget the website, just Google Bill Crawford, Ph.D. I'll come up on the first page. It has been such a pleasure sharing this information with you. I hope you find it valuable. Remember, you're not supposed to learn everything all at once. Give yourself a chance to use it, practice it, make it your own, and feel free to email me with any questions you have. Okay, the very last step in this process is really simple. Go out and teach this to someone else. When we learn something in order to teach it, we just learn it deeper. Stephen Covey was great at, when you would go through his 7 Habits program, he would say, okay, if you've got it, get it to the point where you can teach it. You'll be amazed at how much deeper you understand the concepts when you're ready to teach it to someone else. Teach it to your kids. Teach it to the people in your organization. Teach it to a Sunday school class. Teach it to anyone. But you want to get to the point where you can teach this to someone else. It will make it so much more meaningful to you. So again, feel free to sign up for the free quotes if you like. Feel free to email me if you have questions. Feel free to go to the website and check out all of my videos. I got about 200 videos both on my website and on YouTube. Feel free to check me out on LinkedIn if you want to. We can connect on LinkedIn. There's lots of ways of staying connected. And in the meantime, here's to you bringing more clarity, confidence, creativity to everything you do. And again, I look forward to seeing you in the future.